Okay, really quick, I want to show you how to work with Insta360 footage on your phone. So first of all, take the camera out. It comes with this little protective case, and then on this side you can see that there's a little USB port, and it comes with this great little hardware adapter. You just make sure that seats in there perfectly and turn on the camera. Eventually the camera light here turns green when the camera is on and ready to go. Plug the camera into your phone. I have to take my phone case off to use it, unfortunately, but that's life. Then you can find the footage that you shot in the album section, and you click it. It'll take a second to load sometimes, especially if it's a bigger thing. You can see that this was flying. This was flying around mountains in Provo, Utah. Pretty awesome stuff. But before you do anything, it's usually best to just download the footage to your phone. You click that little not downloaded button and everything is automatically downloaded onto your phone and saved locally rather than having to run through the USB of the camera. So just skip ahead a little bit and wait for that to be done downloading. So assume that the footage finished downloading. Now you can open it on your device directly. So like, for example, this is a little flight that I did in Colorado, and if we skedaddle through here, we can see, the 360-degree footage and play, and oh, this was a crash actually. Let me go back one. We'll do this one instead. You can see that there's footage here. Now, I've already done some keyframing, so I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of these really quick. And I can do that by saying, go ahead and clear all free capture. And that's just the ability to change where everything is pointing. So if I want to change where the camera is pointing, I just go in here and I hold down, and it will automatically reframe based on where the center of that touch was. And what I usually do is hit pivot point. Now, pivot point just is a keyframe essentially saying, look this direction. So now, as I play this forward, it will continue to look that direction no matter what. But if I decide, halfway through that, I want to also turn around and look behind me, I can add another keyframe, go back to the beginning, and it will automatically make the camera rotate around behind the quad. Now, as soon as that's done, maybe I want to look down at the quad, so I'll add a new keyframe there. Play. Now it looks back, and then as soon as it finishes that, it looks straight down at the quad. Now I know I'm coming up on this bridge, so I want to change and have the camera look up here at the bridge, and we'll play that all back. Flying forward, but looking backwards, then look down. After a brief second looking down, spin all the way around. Now I wanted to have the camera stay looking down a little bit longer, so I'm going to just go add another keyframe here. And now for this whole duration, the camera will continue looking down, and then it will swing back up to the bridge. So now we play. Whoosh. And now we get that awesome ability to control where the camera is looking. In addition to the free capture, you can also do this thing called Smart Track, and it will try to use context to be able to determine what you want it to be staring at, and it will keep the camera locked on that point. So you can see that I marked that spot on the bridge, and it's doing its best to keep the camera locked on to that point. So if I stop that, go back to the beginning, you'll see that the camera will track with that spot on the bridge as it continues up. Now, I've had both good luck and bad luck with that feature, so I'll just give you that heads up. And then finally, you can also use this thing called Viewfinder, where you can record, and as long as you're holding the record button, you can change the camera around however you want. So like, usually you would want to just be like spinning around in your living room or something like that to get the camera to look where you expected. But as soon as you play back here, let it go. Once it gets to the red point, you'll see that it's mirroring the movements that I was doing with my hand. And so you can make the whole video doing that with your phone. Some other things that are worth mentioning here: keep stabilization on if you want it to look like 360-degree footage. Otherwise, it will just look like it's just fixed on the quad. You'll still be able to maneuver it, but it doesn't have as many nice features when you do that. If you do direction lock, what it does is it will take the gyro information and keep it looking the direction that you had it last. So like if I go in, I do direction lock, it has to clear out keyframes from before because it's basically replacing all of them. But now what will happen is as the quad changes directions, the camera will automatically change with it. And so it kind of, without keyframing, it automatically makes everything look as though it's just kind of really, really super stabilized footage, and it almost looks like real steady to me. I think it looks really, really cool. You can change the aspect ratio here through, so you could look, if you're going to do an Instagram story, you could do it 9:16 or 1:1, and then 16:9 if you're doing, for YouTube or for, more true kinds of standard video style. And then up in here, you can also, there's a waterproof case that they offer, you can stitch for that. But as soon as you're ready to export, you just hit this little export button, and it asks you where you want to do it. I usually start with local so that it makes like an actual video file on my phone that I can then upload to YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. And you can either do that as a fixed frame, which is basically what you chose in terms of using the keyframes or whatever, or you can export it as a 360-degree video, which when you upload to Facebook or YouTube or Instagram will actually allow the user, the person that's viewing it, to look around within the camera. So hit export, it renders out, and then it gives you a file, and you can take that file and put it wherever you want. So I hope that this was useful. I had a lot of people ask me about what you have to do to be able to edit on your phone with Insta360. I think that this camera is absolutely incredible, and it can do some pretty unreal stuff. So if you're interested, there's a link in the description below for this camera. For a special deal, you get like $40 worth of accessories, including one of these and this awesome selfie stick and stuff that is like a $40 extra value. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, stay flying.